Welcome back, everybody. I'm trying something different here in this video. I overlaid some audio from Jocko podcast number 61, where they talk about jitsu, specifically mind games, and it's coming up here soon.
Pissed. Who the hell was it? Anyway, he said, one of the first things he said, I'm fasting right now.
Yeah.
I forget who. Anyway,
that is actually why I didn't tell Eric.
Right.
Because then it's just an excuse
like your
coming
excuse,
out.
yes.
And also psychological warfare, right? If I tell him, hey, I'm fasted, I'm in a fasted state, he might get all fired up.
He might get empowered, yeah.
No, I'm not going to let that happen.
No.
Jiu-jitsu is...
Let him be weak.
There's a mind
game. Yeah, jiu-jitsu is going on even before you roll.
Yeah,
really.
even when you clap hands.
Yeah.
Give that little bump. That was an aggressive bump.
Remember that time right after we rolled? And you said, hey, did you feel that I was like kind of getting tired towards the end there? And I said, no. You're like, yeah, because I wasn't. See how proud you are of that right now?
Yeah.
That's like your best line to me, I think you think.
Well, no, that was a good one. That was a good one.
It was pretty good.
It's hard. It's hard to get me tired at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. You know what it is?
Partially, it's not all conditioning, too.
Yeah.
I know how to conserve some energy.
Yeah. But you know what this is? What part of it is? If not a major part, you can endure fatigue and tiredness if you're enjoying what you're doing. That's why for a lot of people the treadmill is just hell. Even though the treadmill's not that hard, it's like you're going at like a low percentage of output. It's just so boring. There's no like payoff. In jiu-jitsu, it's like it's payoff upon payoff upon payoff. Like you pass someone's guard, oh my gosh, man, they pass your guard. You're like, what the heck? I gotta wage my thing. It's like this intricate battle. Meanwhile, you're getting super tired. I mean, you gotta get really. But
you don't
tired.
get tired when you do jiu-jitsu.
No, I don't. Well, I'm in great shape and all that stuff.
You have made some incredible strides though on two areas. You used to gas out really, really bad. Yeah. Until you started doing Metcons in your training, in your non-jiu-jitsu training, you used to gas out really bad.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, you used to get really claustrophobic and not be able to handle that.
Yeah, and they kind of play off each other.
Yeah. I cured you of both those. Once I realized you were claustrophobic, I was a real jerk for a while.
Yeah, you're like test time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you like this?
Well, and what's crazy is there's a third element there, is because if you gas quick and then you get claustrophobic, now that's another enemy. Yeah. The gassing and the claustrophobia, that's another enemy. So I'm not just going against you and your jiu-jitsu. Yeah. I'm going against gassing, claustrophobia. So that makes me even more like anxiety.
And like you said, they're compounding problems. Yes. Because the more tired you get, the worse position you get into. Now you're getting claustrophobic. Now you panic and you get more tired.
Yeah. And then let that happen one day. The next day, what am I scared of now?
Yeah.
It's just it's the swamps of sadness, bro. Yeah. All over again.
Well, you dug your way out of that pretty good. I think the Metcon had a lot to do with it. And what did you just mentally eventually say? Like, okay, when Jocko gets side control on me and holds me there, I just need to relax and just sit there and accept that I'm going to be here for a little while.
Yeah, and a big part of it, because sometimes I'd start to get dizzy, like for real claustrophobic. It's not just a feeling of, I'm just so claustrophobic and that's it. I think it was like a for real claustrophobic, because you start to get dizzy and like you're not like you're about to faint, but something like that, it was that. It was a condition.
Dude,
that's what it felt
one
like.
Guy, one of my SEAL platoons I trained with, and I used to get the guys and train with them all like in a row. Yeah. And I'd do like 15 minutes with this guy, and then 15 minutes with this guy, and then 15. I'd just go through the platoons. And there's one guy, and he was super claustrophobic, and he would get so mad. He'd be, just get, and I'd hold him, I'd get a cross-side or I'd get the mount and just not let him move, put my chest over his face, and he would just, and he would lose it, just, and he'd be tapping me like crazy. I'm like, there's no submission. What are you tapping from? You can't tap when there's no submission. Get off me. Yeah. And then, finally I'd tap him out and then let him go, and he'd be like, God, you gotta just stay off me. And he'd get so mad. He just kind of stopped training.
Yeah, that's if you have like Dean did that to me back in when he was like mounted, then I'd be like, Like, and then I tap. He's like, no,
you can't tap from that.
No, man. Yeah. I was like, man,
Dean, actually, it was funny. Yesterday, it was yesterday. The power was going out like momentarily in the gym a few times.
Yeah.
Well, before the power started, like, it was going out for 10 seconds.
Only certain lights, though.
Yeah, but so it was killing the clock.
Yes.
So we were going when the clock was still running, and he was doing that to me, right? And when he tries to make me claustrophobic or tries to get reaction out of me, I just go into like complete detachment, mental shutdown. Not mental shutdown in a negative way, but mental shutdown. Like, okay, I'm not going to show you any. Yeah. And so he's like basically putting his knuckle into my rib. He's mounted, smothering me and rubbing his knuckle into my rib. Mm-hmm. And I'm just laying there like taking it and just thinking about other things. And actually I'm thinking like when I get it on top, I'm going to kill him. And then the timer ran out, and he kept doing it. And he kept doing it. And he kept doing it for like another 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. And then he laughed and he jumped off. So then we were going again. And I got him got a good position, right? I got him in the arm lock, and I'm sitting there, and he's hard to finish, If you don't believe me, go watch him go against Jean-Jay in Metamoris, and there's Jean-Jay, one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners of all time, goes for an arm lock on Dean. Dean gets out of it. So I'm going for an arm lock on Dean, and the timer goes, like it's the end of the round, and he's like, oh. You can hear him. He goes, oh, because I didn't let go. And he goes, I said, you violated the Jiu-Jitsu Geneva Conventions on the last round. And he laughed, and then I let him go. But, it's all good.
That is kind of what that is. Well, the guy tapping, and you don't let go. That's a violation of the Geneva Convention for sure.
Yeah, the Jiu-Jitsu Conventions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true, bro.
You can't be breaking those laws.
Yeah. The Metcon and getting into condition, losing like a little bit of weight or whatever, sure, it gets, in my case, it got me in better shape, and you can go longer, less claustrophobic just in general. But the bigger impact was that's not something I have to worry about anymore. Dealing with being tired when I get tired,
and mentally, you know what it feels like to be tired, because I don't think you knew what that felt like before.
It was hard to deal with. I would say that's how it felt to me. Like, where I'm like, dang, I'm tired. I need to not be tired. That's the goal now. Yeah. I don't care about getting tapped out anymore. It's the tiredness is really the fight, the demon here, not the tapping out. But once you go the Metcon, not like I said, the Metcon and just muscular conditioning in general, it'll get you in shape, but since you have to kind of do it all the time for it to work, like any exercise, you're used to it. That feeling becomes like common,
exactly.
And you're inoculated.
You're mentally inoculated to, I'm out of breath. I'm not. What you used to think was I'm out of breath and I'm going to die.
I'm going to die.
And now you think I'm out of breath and that's okay.
Yeah. I'll recover.
Yes, you'll recover in some other position.
Yeah, and man, it makes jiu-jitsu way funner. Way funner. You can just go. I went with Andy 2 10-minute round, with the thing, and he's going hard, and it was like, sure, it's a good workout, but it just makes it way funner.
For sure.
But yeah, the point is that's why you can endure tiredness is when you're having a good time, when there's little payoffs. You ever notice, even if you don't really roll that hard, you might be different. Actually, no, I'm sure you feel this. When you go home, you feel like the heat radiating from your body. Yeah. Still, even after you go home, you're like, dang, I didn't really roll that hard. Because it doesn't feel like it's that hard because it was so like fun,
Yeah. Well, I roll hard.
Yeah, every single time, huh? Yeah. But yeah, man, it's the genius behind it. Anyway, if you want help with your performance.
Was that just a 20-minute talk about onit.com/Jocko?
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah, right. A little bit of some digression, but these are all helpful things, though.
Yeah, they are.
Very helpful. On it, that's just going to improve your performance straight up.
That section of audio ended, so I'm going to finish with this commentary of what I see here. So I have side control right there. Ooh, here's a decent Diminari entry. Somehow I kept the leg there, you can barely tell. But there I am in side control. Anyways, I also want to ask you to subscribe to the channel.